Welcome to the episode of 40 Culture Podcast, like a podcast for us, by us, the intersection of Black culture and soccer. Got your boy here, Greggo here. Got Big Yogi over here to my right. What's good with you, bro?
Not much, man. Cooler. Realizing that I'm too fucking old for pickup soccer. So, yeah. Too old,
So you watch, man?
Oh, I've been watched. I don't want people to think I was ever good. But... like, I just realized out there, like, yeah, I'm too fucking old to be doing this, man.
I mean, it happens to the best of us, man. You know, just you think you got it, you think you feel like good, then you realize, oh damn, I gotta go home and just lay down for like 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Like now I gotta soak this shit, like goddamn
Oh man, but we did not come empty-handed. Of course, this is the holiday season. We come bearing gifts, and joining us this week, actually, we actually have guests. Like we're actually still doing that. Coming up with us this week, there's someone that's been rolling with us heavy in the culture. Talk about mental health. Talk about getting voices of color, gender equality in the game. Host of the mental health podcast, Amplified, and just a all-out queen out here in the streets, Meg Reyes. What's good with you, girl?
Thank you for the nice intro. What's up? Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. It's just it's been a long time coming, and I'm happy to have you on.
Yeah, it's about time. I'm tapping in live from a beautiful Tampa, Florida.
I mean, you have been traveling. You have been a traveling woman the past week or so because you did MLS Cup. Are you down there for the USL Summit?
I'm here for USL Winter Summit, so I'm live from the hotel room.
You gotta let me know what's going on after the pod. Let me know what's going on.
Yeah, that's USL. That's Yogi's territory. So yeah, like why aren't you down there? That's the real question.
Because they don't consider me real media, even though they take my stuff and promote it.
See, they love that hitting derby until they realize, okay, yeah, this drink ain't for free. This drink ain't free.
Exactly.
But thanks for having me.
Listen to League One.
But no, yeah, I'm glad to have you on, Meg. I said, yeah, definitely wanted to get you on, get your experiences in Portland and just talk about everything that's been going on with you. Of course, okay. Like I said, it's the holiday season. We are winding down for the year. I think we got like this episode here. I think like next week's probably like our last new episode for the year. And yeah, man, like we just want to just kick it, keep it nice and cool. Hopefully no beer cans get thrown at us, while we do this. So, it's going to be a good time here tonight. Of course, thank you guys for checking out your favorite podcast apps. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audio Boom, iHeartRadio, of course, the FTC YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Keep on checking us out. Check out these chocolate faces. And of course, we got Meg here with us. So let's enjoy this ride.
I'm here for it. Not the beer can reference, but I'm here.
Oh, there's so many references that we're hitting on this week. You have no idea.
They call me.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, but
I'm ready.
But yeah, like of course, the big thing that happened this past week, of course, is obviously MLS Cup. We have Portland and NYCFC. I would have loved to have watched this on time, but so I have Sling, and I for those of y'all that aren't familiar with Sling, of course, it's a streaming service, cutting the cable and everything. And I tried to watch the game on time. Try to watch the pregame. I tried like 3:00. We good. I'm ready. Got my drinks up. Got my food up. And because because Sling doesn't have ABC, I'm having to watch ESPN3. Tell me why I did not get the game until like 3:43. By that point, the game had already started. I'm like. Luckily, nothing that happened yet, but I was like, I missed all pregame. I missed everything. I'm like, I was like, if y'all saw me on the socials, I was like, what in the entire hell is going on? just like Yogi and his camera. I don't know what's going on here, but that's okay. But yeah, like what day did you get in, Meg?
I got in Friday night. I was that person, so I had a full day of work Friday, flew to Portland, actually I live in the Bay Area, drove from the Bay Area to Sacramento, dropped off my dog, got on a plane, and I was that person because I just had to meet all the like social friends in real life from the airport to the bar.
Okay, right.
Suitcase, backpack in hand. Natural, like, totally normal stuff. Showed up to the bar in my suitcase.
What we drinking?
At that time?
Yeah, what you drinking?
I just got beer. It's been a long day.
You didn't get no Henny.
I have outgrown my Hennessy phase.
Ooh.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Grown.
You
got a lot of me.
I had too many nights, too many years of. I got a bottle of Hennessy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Single don't mix. I understand.
Now, I graduated to much bigger and better things. Tequila, not that much better.
Oh,
no. This bar, I don't even know if they had Hennessy. I had 2 beers, but I got in Friday night, woke up early, had a meeting Saturday morning, casual, and then we were off to MLS Cup. So I was there for like 35 hours, maybe. It was quick. It was quick.
Shout out to E.
Greggo says hey.
But yeah, like of course, like the game started at like 12 out there, so like y'all had to like get right to it. Like it wasn't a whole lot of time, to have a whole lot of fun out there Saturday morning. But there was one thing that I've been clowning so hard on the socials, especially that day. Did y'all see that the trophy rollout pregame?
What I was gonna tell you, did I see it? Yes, I saw it. What I was gonna tell you is, because you said you missed pregame, I was gonna say you didn't miss much except for the colossal failed attempt at an inflatable Mylar trophy. And I will tell you, because we'll get into this later, right? The game was phenomenal. The game was so much fun, and I still will die on the hill that the failed MLS Cup trophy probably
that was a sign. That was a sign.
That should have been a sign, because I actually thought to myself, like, this is an omen for somebody.
Right.
Of course, it's going to end up being Portland. But, like, I don't know if they showed this on the broadcast. Obviously, you missed it. But they were trying to blow it up in the corner right in front of the NYCFC section for, like, 15 minutes. And this thing is, like, flopping this way and that way. They can't get it out. So they're like, you know what? We're just going to roll it. We're going to roll it out there. We're going to figure it out there. And it was truly like everyone had their phones out recording it. The funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. And theatrics of the whole game aside, the failed inflatable MLS Cup will go down in history. Absolutely. And then they had the big MLS thing on the pitch that they I don't know if they definitely showed this on the broadcast, that they couldn't roll up in time, and they're like, wow, the guy's already on there waiting for kickoff to kick it off the pitch. It was phenomenal, absolutely great.
Oh, the trophy, those were walking Viagra commercials just waiting to happen. It's like, hey,
don't be surprised if Don Garber go get that sponsorship.
Absolutely. So many jokes could be made. So many jokes.
I mean, because we were clowning the shit out of that. Because of course, you're just in the moment. I'm not used to this. This never happens to me. Do you realize? Yeah, it's happened to you on live TV. That was just absolutely.
Oh, and then it was
insane.
At that point it was porn. I mean, it probably didn't help that it was really rainy and really windy. Yes. I think it was ripped, to be honest.
Oh, Portland went full Portland. To just that whole weather deal, because it's funny because I always think back to the very first MLS Cup between LA and DC United, and it was up in Foxborough, just rain, just ugly rain. Luckily Portland has turf, so it wasn't a whole muddy mess. But yeah, you could see that the cameras, they were soaked with rain. It was you can't miss this. This is definitely full Portland. But what were your thoughts on the early part of the game, Yogi?
So I ain't gonna lie to you, I missed the first part of the first half.
Didn't
See,
miss
you sound
much.
you sound like me. I dozed off at halftime, especially like during the Garber interview. But I'll get to that in a second. But like the of course the I think the first half is probably just highlighted by the goal by Tati Castellanos, and then just from out of nowhere, a fan decides to throw a tall boy can out to the crowd of NYCFC players. NYCFC. I don't know why I can't talk tonight, but yeah, like caused a whole bit of controversy. Of course, the fans got kicked out and arrested and banned for life, just like that.
Yeah,
But
sure.
like first of all, like why are we still allowing cans in the stadium? Like we have it all moved to plastic cups.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, he still was gonna get
So
thrown, but yeah, he was
it
still
was gonna
moving
get
by stuff.
thrown. That
I
actually
mean,
happened right
yeah.
in my section. That happened right in my
Wow.
section.
Wow.
So he scores, comes over the corner, talks his shit as he should, as he
Right.
absolutely should. And I saw there's two. I don't know if y'all saw it. There's two
Yeah.
cans thrown, and I
Oh
was
no.
just
I
watching
just said one.
Oh, there were two. I saw two.
Okay.
And I just saw it just like come from the, it was like a little bit below me. I just saw
Okay.
it in the air, and it was just like one of those things in slow motion where I
I
was
was
like,
about to
that's
ask you, was
shitty.
it like in slow? But you're like,
It was in slow.
oh,
I just saw it, and like you can see the slow motion, like the beer spilling out of it, and I'm like, that's going to hit someone. It's going to hit someone. Next thing you know, he's like on the ground. Which obviously sucked. And I don't blame any person if they think Timbers fans are shitty for that, but I will give credit for that. Not as soon as it happened, everybody in the section turned and was like, "It was him."
Oh, we snitching.
oh, they know.
Like
Oh, they
literally
know.
every person
Oh, they
was
know.
like, "Him."
Oh, they know. They know he was up.
Yeah, and so then like
You
one
ain't doing
fan
that on
came out and
primetime,
like
not on
literally
Garber
found
TV.
him and
You
like
not.
escorted him out. So I will give them credit for it. Not one person tolerated that shit. Everyone was like, "Get out, get out." But that happened right in front of me. But as I saw it like airborne, I'm like, that's 100% hitting someone in the face. But I looked at a replay on Twitter and I saw he actually covered his face, which is good. But had he not, like straight up would have broken a nose. It was a full can of beer.
Yeah. Like when I saw the replay, I was like the way that can moved, I was like, there's beer up in there. Like no
like
doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've ever been in the supporter section and you, of course, like, your team scores and beers flying everywhere, and you actually catch when a cup or can of beer is actually flying in the air, like every time slow motion, it's like, oh wow,
yeah, you're like, oh, how do I stop it?
That's not good. That's not good at all. Also, man,
yeah, it just, man.
I know that beer in Portland was expensive because Portland loved to have like shitty IPAs and shoved in your face.
Oh,
I don't know that. Like, I know that's a $20. Man, I would have been pissed.
Okay.
I would have been pissed.
There's nothing worse than just having a beer thrown out and then all of a sudden you realize, oh snap, the goal got called back, and then you realize, oh shit, that beer's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst feeling in the world, man.
But yeah, like of course we made it through the first half, aside from that incident, and just as we thought, NYCFC was about to cash in and get this MLS Cup. I just need to know, like, that game tired in the 94th minute, like, what was the vibes on that? Because I caught that late, but just the noise from the crowd was like something that you just can't buy anywhere.
Yeah.
I actually have chills thinking about it. I have been telling like people, here at Summit that have been asking like how MLS Cup was and like, oh sorry y'all lost. I'm like, I absolutely do not regret it. Okay, so had they just lost in regular time because they were playing like
hold on, time out. Is you claiming Tempers? That's your squad?
That is my squad. Was that not?
Okay.
Was that not
This
apparent?
is how I know you.
Hey, we gotta make sure. I know that. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
All right, man, I got you. You already know this information.
Yeah.
I'm claiming it. Right, I'm writing for the last 9 years. Right.
Cool.
But had they just lost in regular time, just like not playing well, I would have been like, this was kind of a waste of my time. Like, obviously would have been a great experience, but you know, penalty shootout aside, how it ended aside, I don't regret it one bit for that moment, for that pure
Right.
moment, because there was a point like, you know, up until really like the 85th minute, I was like, okay, there's a chance. And then at one point I was just like talking to my friend next to me. We're like shooting the shit. And I look at him, I'm like, bro, we're about to lose, aren't we? Like, it's pretty much over,
Mm,
right? But we
yeah.
kept making bets. I'm like, no, drama's going to happen. Drama's absolutely going to happen. And in that moment, I don't know, I just had a feeling. Like, I just had a feeling, I was like, something is about to happen right now. And second chance, third chance. Next thing I know, the, you know, ball's in the back of the net. And I have never experienced anything like that. I've been to like NBA Finals games when I worked for the Warriors. I've been to Stanley Cup games. I have never experienced an atmosphere like that ever in my life. Probably never will again. For that pure like 2 minutes of euphoria, the best thing, like absolutely just erupted. And it was so cool because that goal again was like right in front of us. They were celebrating right in the corner, right in front of us. We'll never take that back for anything. So it was just the coolest thing. And I've been like rewatching, because I always love when I'm like at a game in person to see what it's like on broadcast. So for a moment
Right.
like that, I've been rewatching the social clips on Twitter just to see like what it was like to watch from broadcast. And
Mm.
it did it justice. It actually gives me chills to see like what you guys would have seen from the TV,
Oh,
and to see it
absolutely.
from burst perspectives. Because like to just hear that noise come through on the broadcast, just imagine that in person. It was so much fun.
The closest thing I could really compare it to is like probably like Landon Donovan's goal in the 2010 World Cup. Like that's probably the closest thing I can think of that's anywhere close to this. Like because all given how MLS is constructed, like you don't really get those kind of moments like that where you get that last minute, last gasp goal and just and it saves the game or saves the season or saves the championship, and all of a sudden everybody just absolutely loses their shit.
Hmm.
And just like how you said, like given how things were going, it was like for whatever reason, Portland just wasn't getting through. And I remember when Valeri came, and I was like, okay, it's about to get real, and just that sequence of shots leading up to Mora's goal, I was like, oh,
One of them, you knew, like one of them was gonna go in. It was, if it wasn't that one, it was one of them was gonna go in.
like it just kept bouncing to a Timbers player. Okay, now okay, this one missed. I was like, oh my god, like just the amount of tension and suspense and then just for it to actually just cash it, I was like, oh my god, this actually is really happening.
It was
Now,
the coolest thing ever. It was so much fun.
of course, with that, of course, it goes to extra time. Nobody scores the extra time, so it goes to PK shootout. I don't think we've had a PK shootout since maybe '09. I think when uh, Real Salt Lake beat Galaxy. I think, but of course, given that we're now in the host homing MLS Cup, you have your PK shootout in front of the Timbers Army. Like that's the kind of just visual that you just can't buy. You just can't. And now, granted, things didn't work out, the Timbers' way. Sean Johnson, who we definitely had to shout out for this because like he was a monster as usual, giving out 2 saves to help NYCFC win their first MLS Cup. But just, I mean, I really can't knock like the experience because like just you can't buy that kind of drama. And like for a league that's still in large part growing, like these are the kind of moments that like you can hang your head on and say like, hey, I'm using this on every video clip ever in life. Like just that 94th minute, that's going to be everywhere for a good minute. Doesn't even matter that Portland lost. It's like, oh, this is everywhere, everywhere. Don't be shy,
I mean,
Yogi.
I'm
it
not.
was
if I'm speaking about MLS, MLS Twitter want to jump on my case. So I'll see.
MLS Twitter loves you, Yogi. Like I don't know why. Like you just be shy
I asked one
sometimes.
question about a black man, and everything I know, everybody jumping on my case. But that's a story for another day.
But what are you about to say, Megan?
I was gonna say no. I actually at one point extra time moved over to Timbers Army. I was with my homie that used to work for the Timbers, and he was like,
Okay.
"We got to go back over there." He's like, "Because if this goes to penalties, like it's gonna be right here." And I'm glad I did because like obviously had they won, like being in Timbers Army for that would have been phenomenal. But
Oh
even
my
not
God.
like to be in there for extra time and penalties was so much fun. And I have not gone back and watched the broadcast. Of course, I've only seen clips, but I can only imagine how, like you said, like special and unique it is to for a cup to go to penalties right in front of Timbers Army. I can only imagine just like the framing of that
Oh,
on
absolutely.
television probably looks so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think
can
it's like 27 cameras. Like they had like all the angles that you could stand. Just like I said, just catching that moment. And like I said, like this is definitely a moment where the league can say like, hey, this wasn't that bad. This wasn't that bad at all.
Okay, so I got a question for y'all, and I like. Let me ask y'all this: as someone that is a neutral and not like the biggest MLS person, do you think
Mm-hmm.
this was a memorable game? Because like, I know we're talking about the moment, like the 94th
Right.
minute moment is great,
Mm-hmm.
but the game was like,
Um, the game itself, I think it kind of dragged on in the second half. That's when when I dozed off. I dozed for about 10 minutes or so, like in like the 60th minute.
took that maybe
And
boring. What? That was a boring
no,
game.
but like I said, like especially like I did like once like the 75th minute hit, and like you could just kind of just see Portland kind of try to turn the energy up and try to press towards getting the goal. Like you could just feel like the energy in the stadium
it's
change. Like I
almost
said,
like that anti like. I think this game is to me is like the anti Atletico in the Real Madrid Champions League final, where they scored like
oh,
in the 90th minute and then Real just
mm,
went over and took over. Of course, it didn't
right,
happen with Portland, but it's just like I've been listening to a lot of people talk about that 95th minute moment, and I guess just to me, like that moment would have meant more if Portland would have won.
true,
But since
true.
Portland didn't win, it's like, all right,
You ever watched the movie Tin Cup?
yeah,
Okay, so you know like how at the end where McAvoy's he's taking those shots at that last hole and he keeps missing and he keeps missing and then he finally makes it at the end and he realizes, of course, he made that great shot, but of course he still lost. It's kind of like that where you like even though he lost, it's such an amazing moment that it's like no like how many people are really going to think about it? You know what I mean? And that's where like it's something that at least I think for at least the league for MLS, that's something that they can hang their head. Of course, for Timbers supporters, Timbers Army, they might be like, "Yeah, that was great, but we lost," and that's that's it can kind of go either way on that. But I think that for just that singular moment, like I think that something that will go down for a hot minute because you don't get those type of moments with MLS like that. So it's something that you just won't be able to forget.
Yeah, and I could be biased because obviously, like, I support Timbers, but I think, will I say the game itself, like the full 90, was memorable? No, it was kind of boring and ridiculous. Actually, there was way too many diving and theatrics and drama for my liking.
yeah, it's just I don't
But
know,
the
it's just
94th plus the extra time, pretty much from the 94th on, was memorable, and I just think it's memorable for Portland and like to host Cup at home, and like we could have gone out bad and could have gone down real bad, but to like score it and at least like drag it out to PKs at home, I think made it a little bit more memorable than if they were just like had just purely lost in full
Yeah,
to be
time.
honest with you, I think Gino got it wrong. I think Gino got the whole tactics wrong. But that's just
I
me.
mean, and that's something I was actually going to touch on real quick because this is now Gio's second MLS Cup that he's lost, and as a Timber supporter, is that going to be a talking point going forward? Where it's like, is Gio going to be the guy that gets his that second star?
I'm the wrong person to ask for this. I'm the wrong person to ask for this.
I guess I'll talk about it. I mean, I don't think you would. I don't think it would not be smart for Portland to be like, oh, well, he's not the guy to get us over the hump.
Mhm.
Gino is probably one of the best coaches in MLS. And also, like, it's not very hard unless you're FC Cincinnati to rebuild a roster, to retool a roster, and get back. Now,
Right.
the downside is Portland is very old. I think they have like the oldest roster in MLS, from what I was hearing.
Okay.
But I think the thing that Gino's gonna have to do is definitely retool it. I think he got too conservative, and I think once NYFC scored, it kind of
See,
like
could none of us do the acronym right now? It's just we're having a hard time today.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I just think it just threw off his whole like what he wanted to do. I think what he really wanted to do was to get to halftime, wait till like the 60th minute, bring Diego on, and have him score the winner or something like that. But it's like once NYFC scored, he waited not a long time, not like always, but he waited a while to make substitutions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I
definitely.
think definitely like bringing Diego on in the 89th, 88th minute is just a sign that he's not in the plans for Portland whatsoever. So yeah,
Because this is basically like his last game. Like he's playing on retirement, right?
I don't think so because I was listening to him post game,
Mm-hmm.
and he definitely sounded like a guy. And maybe he just got caught up in the emotions, and you know how you're in that high, or that low, whatever. But it definitely sounded as if like he wants to keep playing, whether that's here or that's in Argentina, we don't know. But it definitely sounds like he wants to keep.
Where's the love for Mr. Valeria up in Portland, Miss Reyes?
I think he'll always have love in Portland.
I need y'all to build that statue.
Everybody wants a statue, man. Like everybody.
Look, it's not coming out of my pocket.
But we do need to give a quick shout out to, of course, the actual champs, New York City FC. They winning their first MLS Cup. First of all, I just need to say I'm glad this wasn't in Yankee Stadium. Like,
no, I
wanted
it to. I wanted it.
But I just have. We're contractually obligated to say Bing Bong. But
I'm still holding out on that.
But no, like I'm actually hoping that if nothing else comes out of this, they can actually use the momentum from this to actually finally get their stadium done. It's something that we've been talking about for the past few weeks on the podcast. You know, because like they had a deal almost ready to go, and then it fell through over parking. And I'm like, now they can be like, hey, what about this now? And we can. And they'd be like, "No, still can't get it." But hopefully, you know, they can get it, and you know, they can finally stop sharing with Red Bulls. They can stop sharing with the Yankees and the Mets. Like next thing you know, they'll. I think I saw on Twitter that things are so bad that the parade's going to be in Hartford. I'm like, you know, just give these guys a home. You know, just give them a home. But
yeah, shout out to them. Can't even be mad at it. First one, I mean, can't even be mad at Sean Johnson. Like that, well, his whole run was incredible.
And
if we're gonna lose to anyone, I'm fine with it. It's fine.
And
accepted it.
they managed to get a MLS Cup before the Red Bulls, which I just find absolutely comical. And
boy, they mad.
Oh, they big mad. Big mad. I mean, you know, it only took them 6 years. You know, Red Bull's still waiting on that first. So, you know, that's only going to make that whole rivalry even more spicier next year. I can't wait for that. I think we're supposed to be getting the MLS schedule actually tomorrow on Wednesday. So,
yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to seeing it because, you know, we might be doing a little bit of traveling next year with FTC, 2 cents, and everything. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm actually hoping to get that going. There was one thing I wanted to just kind of follow up on before we go on break. I graze through the Don Garber interview is something that I wanted to touch on. This week was MLS recently made changes to their diversity hiring. Of course, those of y'all that know us, those of y'all that know Meg, like something that we've both been advocating for quite a bit is just getting more Black, Asian, gay, straight, all these voices in the game that aren't already in the game, and they really have made tried to make some bit of an effort to improve on the hiring within the league. Like, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Can you actually brief me? I've been so busy that I didn't even see it.
I think they announced this. What was it? 2 weeks
sometime
ago.
last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically what the changes was for every job opening, there has to be at least
the old version of the voting rule.
it's that plus it's a little bit more to it. But like definitely like there's a Black candidate has to be interviewed for every job opening. But I want to say there's a little bit like give me one
The
second.
thing about this is while you looking it up, I just want to make sure MLS don't mess around like the NFL and be like, hey, janitor, you want to interview for the manager position?
Yeah.
And do something like that. I just want to make sure they don't do that.
That's my problem with rules like that is that at that point, like the interview is just to like check a box.
Right.
And if it's mandatory, like the Rooney Rule, like everyone just has the interview to say they did the interview, and then like it wasn't a good fit or they weren't the best candidate. It's not authentic. Like we need these more voices because we want them and we need them, not because it's mandated.
Right.
And then everything just becomes like a smokescreen. Like you do the interview, you check the box, and then you don't end up hiring them. But it's like, but we interviewed them. Like, okay. I have issues with rules like that.
So the key points in here is that for an open sporting position must include 2 or more non-white candidates, one of whom must be Black or African American. There's for clarification, teams that fail to abide by the policy can include up to $50,000 fine for the first offense, $100,000 for the second offense. More than
now you're just doing it to not lose money.
Yeah, and see the other thing about that is like there's no qualification for these jobs, so it's not like like there's a loophole in it built in. Say if I'm a team and I'm like, all right, I have a manager position open, I could go get my friend from the local college as a head coach. Then I could get a Black guy, and then I could go get an Asian guy. The MLS can't say whether or not they're qualified for the job, but I interviewed them.
Yeah.
And I just go get my friend. Like it's just like I feel like if MLS, and I'm not trying to knock them because I know they're trying to do the right thing, but this is what happens when you don't have us in the room to be like, no, this is stupid, and you guys don't think ahead of, like, you don't take extra steps to think ahead. And someone that is cheating and lazy, like, you can easily just bypass this whole rule. What needs to happen is like, for each job, you need to have certain qualifications for it. And if the club doesn't have those, if the club tries to hire a person or interview a person that doesn't have those said qualifications, then yes, you get fined. But you just leaving it up to the clubs to do it, it's kind of just like the league is like, oh, we're leaving it up to the clubs to do this. And then the clubs are going to turn around and be like, oh, well, we left it up to the league's interpretation. And once again, Black people don't get hired.
I mean, at least from what I'm going over here, because there's also a diversity policy portal that's been created. I think there's a panel that's also been created that actually one of our homies and partners in 2 Cents, Todd Phillips, is also a part of. I think actually it's noble that the effort is being done to improve things. It's just a matter of like how tangible is it to where you are seeing more Hispanic, more Asian, more Canadians, like more LGBTQ plus people within the league. And let's say like hopefully there's it's not just hires is people that when they do get hired, they actually are supported to where they can succeed and flourish. And it's not just a situation where it's like, okay, yeah, we got it, we got this person here, but are we really putting them in a position to succeed and just get them
Oh,
out within a year or two?
I just thought of
Yeah.
something. Sorry, I'm not trying to go on a tangent, but this has really popped in my head.
What's
Like
up?
we said before in the past, Greggo, like in order to get a coaching badge, you damn near have to either go in debt, have somebody
Mm,
sponsor you,
yeah,
or like be an ex pro and have the club pay for you. So now
right.
that makes me thinking, like, how the hell is the MLS going to hire black coaches when almost 80% of the people that have them are not black? And half the people that want to get coaching licenses can't afford to pay them because you have to have another job. Mind you, we just came out of a pandemic. But then on top of that, I can't take that money that I would want for the coaching badges because I have to provide for a home and a lifestyle. I can't then get coaching badges that then get me hired by MLS. All of this is just convoluted and stupid.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but the real issue is like we really just need to like lower the cost of these coaching badges and not just be like, oh, we're drop $5,000 like it's nothing to get your coaching badge.
that's the difficult part in all of this because you know, and we talked about this in recent weeks, just like the cost involved, especially to get a license at that top level. Uh, I think it, like last time I checked, it was like $10,000, and it's like how many
The
people have?
cost and the time is like absurd. Like you damn near have to be you almost have to take out like a month to go to like the training facility to get trained to pay the cost to get like the A license.
Mm,
It's, like I took it all the way up until I did a free one, so I think graduate goes up to like D. But like after that, like you got to travel, you got to pay for classes, you got to pay to get out there. Like if you're not sponsored by a club, then that's even more money coming out your pocket. Like it just doesn't make sense. It's like MLS is once again, like I understand MLS is trying to do the right thing, but they're not thinking about the steps involved into getting the license. They're just like, oh hey, we're trying to hire more of y'all, come get it. And then like when more of us don't get hired because there's built-in barriers, they're gonna be like, oh well, we gave y'all opportunity. Why didn't y'all take advantage of it? Well, we couldn't take advantage of it because I don't have 10K just to drop out of my ass.
I mean, that's the hard part, and that's something that I think because obviously that's those licenses are with U.S. Soccer, and that's something that they got to address as well. I mean, MLS can do their part, but there's also a step with that U.S. Soccer has to address it. That way, it makes it more accessible for more people, and
Ooh.
it only broadens the culture pull out here. But we will put a button on that for right now because I know that topic is definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. So stay tuned on that. But on the flip side, we are going to talk about the first draw and then the second draw of the Champions League knockout stages and head up to up to down and more with Meg. And so stick with us and we'll be right. And we're back. We were doing so well, Yogi, on Monday with the Champions League draw, and like, whose fault was it that we had to draw again? Like, I just want to know, like, who left the balls, took the balls out, said, "Hey, we got to do this all over again." Like, has this ever happened with the Champions League?
So if you ask Real Madrid, it was UEFA's. If you ask Man United, it was the Arsenal player that was doing the draw. If you ask PSG, it was the announcer. And if you ask Benfica, it was the computer. Nobody knows who did what. We just know it was a whole bunch of what the fuck.
So for those of y'all who weren't following up, of course, now that the group stages are over with the Champions League, we're about to go into the knockout stages early next year. And during the draw, apparently there was a bowl that left out Man United, Atletico Madrid, and Liverpool. In the middle of all this, once they realized it, said, "Hey, Gotta do this all over. Gotta just stop. And they did it just twice, right? Was it 3 times?
No, they did it twice.
Okay. Now, if I'm a Real Madrid supporter, I'd be pissed because like they went from drawing Benfica to drawing PSG. I was like, damn, bro. How do we?
I don't know how it is, but Man City manages again to get one of the easier teams in a cup.
I mean, true. I mean, they did end up with Sporting. They did end up with Sporting now. Now Man United, like we initially got PSG, right?
Yeah. Come on,
so
now.
I guess they didn't want to have Ronaldo and Messi one more time. They said, "Hey, we got to hold off, not just yet." But we did end up with Atletico Madrid, which I think that one might be all right. It might be,
sir.
It might be, sir. Might be. Never know.
You can focus on that struggle. I will be focused on the kicker season. Okay.
So do you have
his vibes?
So do you have a team that you follow, Meg?
Meg, don't lie. Don't lie. Just go with the vibes, my dog. Be with me.
Yes.
Vibes FC.
Vibes FC. Do I? Yes.
Okay.
Am I proud of it? Not you.
Oh wow! I gotta hear this. Like it sounds like it's probably like Spurs or something. Like what we got?
You know, it really is. It actually really is. It really is.
I'm mad. I call it like right away. Like it just because like it sounds good, and then you realize like, yeah.
Peel back you open the door a little bit, and you're like, oh. But you know,
I ain't gonna lie, man. That Amazon Prime documentary, I ain't think nothing could outdo Sunderland Until I Die.
Yeah.
I mean, did it help? Yes. The reason I actually went on 2 Cents earlier this year and talked about this is more than anything, I just like love Sonny so much that I would like lay down my life for him. And Elle actually pressed me on it. He's like, okay, well, like if Son were to leave Tottenham, would you still support? I was like, yeah, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But it's fitting because like they embody every other team that I support, where like they should be good, they should win, they don't. It's just like season-long suffering. It's very similar to my New Orleans Saints that I absolutely just gave up on. Don't ask me anything that's happening because I don't know. Don't care. I chose peace this year.
There you go. Choose vibes. There you go.
I chose vibes. I then instead just decided to go all in on, I don't know, MLS because that was so much better for my heart. But yeah, no, Tottenham is it, unfortunately, and it's fitting. Like if you know anything about my sports fandom, like it fits.
Okay. So. I have questions about this.
Drama had nothing to do with me.
I have questions about this Saints deal, but we'll save that for the next episode. But like just to catch everybody up on how things actually ended up the second time around, we got RB Salzburg's going up against Bayern Munich, Sporting Lisbon's going against Man City, Benfica's going against Ajax, Chelsea's going against Lille, Atletico Madrid against Man United, Real against Juventus, Inter Milan gets Liverpool, and PSG gets Real Madrid. Which one of those sound a little spicy for you, Yogi?
So, granted, I'm probably gonna watch Atletico and Man United because fandom is stupid.
It's entirely stupid.
Yeah, it makes no sense. The game that I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure I watch this, and if I miss it, I'm going to go back and rewatch it. Is Liverpool and Inter Milan.
I was thinking that one too. Like that one actually should be pretty good.
That's going to be. I think that's probably going to be the game of the tournament. Like those 2 games are going to be the best because it's so many different styles. Because Liverpool is like this high press, high octane style. While if you watch Inter Milan, they're not like a low block kind of team because they still play the 3 in the back, but like they're very much like very narrow and very tight. Where Liverpool want to spread you out wide, And it also is interesting because a lot of Liverpool players will be coming back from AFCON. So how are they going to be coming back? COVID, things like that. How is that going to be an issue? Because we know it's going to be an issue. So I'm interested to see. I think the other one that is a sleeper for me is Ajax Benfica. Because I think Ajax can make a sneaky run until like the semifinals.
Okay. Yeah. They actually went pretty. They actually I think went undefeated in the group stage. So
They did. And
yeah,
Sebastian
I think
Haller is the only player outside of Cristiano Ronaldo to score in every group stage game. It's
yeah.
crazy how that man left West Ham and became like the next Lewandowski.
Sometimes it just works out like that. Where's Spurs? Are they still in the Conference League? Like,
yeah, they gotta make up their Europa Conference game because everybody got the Rona out that bitch.
Yo, what's like who's not living clean right now, man?
I dead ass feel like Conte be lying. So I'm just gonna say it. I dead ass think Conte made that shit up. After that last game, it was just so fitting that Conte was like, "Hey, we got Rona, dog." Everything now was like, "Hey, y'all go train. I don't know what the fuck y'all been doing. You training."
Man, like we need to just hold back. We just fall back and just train, and like we'll come back on Boxing Day. We'll see y'all then. Like, nah, we can't do this right now.
Also, I'm just gonna throw it out there because you know I got my conspiracy hat on. Ralph Rangnick, he did the same thing.
Yeah, because I got to the day too, so it gets Brentford. So
that game against Norwich, you know, Victor Lindelof, my boy. All reports came back that he good. It was none COVID, but it's just so convenient. Victor Lindelof go down, and then he like, we got Coda, we got the Rona, shut everything down. Give me about a week to train this team because I don't know what the fuck they doing out here.
I do need to say though, like the amount of outbreaks just in all sports right now is kind of crazy because I don't know if like y'all, I know Meg, you follow the NBA quite a bit. It's like the Bulls have been just a hot mess. Like the Lakers got hit. Like it seems like on both sides of the world, like COVID's coming in a big way. It's finally coming for the players in a way that probably didn't see like at the beginning. But like like it's getting hard. Like thankfully now at least most of the players are vaxxed and they're not pulling an Aaron Rodgers, they're not pulling a Joshua Kimmich. You know, they're actually most of them are vaxxed. But yeah, like it's people out here are just not living clean. They need to tighten up.
Just raw dog in there, man. It ain't working.
Oh God. But
on that note,
I know, right? But while we still got you on, because I know that you got to run. I know there was, for those of y'all that don't know, Meg hosts the mental health podcast series Amplified, and tell the people about that because actually it's something that of course is near and dear to my heart. You know, taking care of your mental health. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it started earlier this year when I got my job at my last company, Blue Wire, a podcast company. I was given a mic, and I was like, a friend gave me a mic. You want to host a pod? You want to do your thing? Blah 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 blah. And I was like, absolutely not. Which is really funny because this was like February. You look at today, like I'm here at USL Summit to do presentations, but truly, like even 8 months ago, me hosting a pod, me like public speaking, putting myself out there was just unthought of. And so for a couple months, like May comes around, I'm trying to find something, some project, some hobby to keep myself like fulfilled and busy outside of work. And the idea of a podcast came back. Same friend. You can do some women in sports, working in sports, whatever it may be. Well, I'm like, I know so many of those podcasts, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I have so many friends that do sports like that. I support the podcast, listen, subscribe, all the things. But to some point, like interviewing people on their job and how they got it can only get you so far because 9 times out of 10, we either worked hard and got really lucky. Like that story isn't prescriptive for someone that's trying to come up through the industry because you can follow all the same steps, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the same luck. So I was trying to think of something that I could, build a unique podcast around, and I decided to go off a little bit of my shirt. Like, let me talk to some diverse voices. Like, let's go a different avenue. And as I was coming up with a list of guests and doing some research, even though I knew a lot of them, I noticed like, okay, this person actually talks a lot about anxiety. this person talks a lot about like depression, and I started seeing a pattern. I'm like, wait, let's do less of like, tell me about your career in sports, all that stuff. Like, let's talk about the real shit. Let's
Mm.
talk about like my friend Jenny. She's on air. She's sideline reporting Champions League. You wouldn't know it, but I know for a fact she gets really, really bad anxiety. Let's talk about that, because I guarantee you the world doesn't know that. And we had a great conversation on the podcast about her anxiety going on air. So that's kind of how it built. And then it's been awesome. Actually, my last 2 episodes are tomorrow and next week. And the more I've done these, like more people are starting to talk about like, oh yeah, like I really related to the episode about Jenny. Like I really related to the fear of going on air. And I really related to the episode with Doug Middleton, like not knowing what your identity is outside of football. So it's been cool. Like it's been fun. And I all I really care about is making sure people feel like less alone, which
Right.
is kind of how it came about. But I don't like the word normalize. I think it's overused. I'm just trying to make sure I can use my platform in a way to make people feel less alone. And if that's talking about how mental health is health, way more people are dealing with some type of mental health disorder or struggle more than we realize. That's where I'm at
Yes,
with it.
definitely.
But it ironically like required me stepping outside of my own comfort zone and anxiety to just like be so vulnerable and to share these stories. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. As far
Yeah.
as like this podcast mic was given to me in February, and I didn't launch the show until October, and I didn't start recording until like June. I just like had this mic.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting because I think, um, especially like with us, it's something that we've talked about here and there. As far as just our own mental health journeys. I know Coach Tony, he's brought it up. TK right now is, he was on last week. Like he's basically been taking like a mental health break, taking care of things at home. And like me personally, like, I've actually just started going back to counseling this last week, and trying to like, because I did it like 5 years ago now, and actually no, 7 years ago now. And but I last did it back in I finished up in 2015. But like even like then, it was like once you realize the benefit of it, even if you're not going every single week or every other week, like it's just having that conversation is like once a month, once every other month. It's still good to check in and just be like kind of like this whatever's going on in your head, just get it out there, because having someone just to listen to you really goes a long way. It really
Mm-hmm.
does. And sometimes people don't feel listened to. Some people don't feel like whatever's going on in their head is just people try to diminish it. It's like, yo, like that shit's important. And especially of course with this coming through the holiday season, like you don't know what people are going through during this time of the year. Losing loved ones. People are still somewhat disconnected from their families throughout this pandemic. Like a lot's going on. So definitely, if you haven't done so already, check out the Amplified podcast, and just get a look. It's like that from the sports point of view. Everyone thinks that these athletes are just out here doing king and queen shit, but in real life, it's like there's human as me, and like what they deal with on a personal level is, you realize, yeah, it can be kind of wild at times, and they're trying to balance that between trying to ball out of control and be that player, and it's a lot. So yeah, definitely check it out.
I
Um,
appreciate that. Thank you.
no problem at all. Um, uh, just a quick update with the store. Of course, everything's still up through the holidays. I know y'all saw the Formiga hoodies that we had up for sale um, during Cyber Week. Like, trust me, like seeing them getting pressed and that actually seeing them like about to go out, like, yeah, that's actually been pretty dope, because I know like the hoodies that we've been doing the previous months, we actually been doing through a vendor for that. And I was like, you know what, we're doing these like in person. Y'all getting the real deal. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Like by the time y'all get this, the first set of hoodies will be getting mailed out. I hope to have everything mailed out by this weekend, because of course Christmas is coming up, and I want to make sure everybody has all these hoodies by Christmas. Probably gonna be one that probably doesn't get it, and that's one person who actually did order straight from Brazil, but I will still get it for you. And so
Shout out them.
yeah. So, but of course, for everybody else, who still want to go lace up your jerseys, your hat, and shirts and everything, make sure you go to ftcutd.myshopify.com. Make sure you get name sets. Make sure you get your hats. Make sure your shirts. Of course, even though MLS Cup is over, you can still get the FTC Cup 96 shirt. And you can also get a River City 93 shirt. I think that's still up on the website. So make sure you holler at the team. Make sure you holler at us. And if you haven't done so already, because Megan's got a really dope shirt out here in the streets that's just all the flavor and vibe. You get more female, Black, Latinx, Indigenous, Asian, LGBTQ voices in sports. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, make sure you holler at that shirt as well. Because we got to make sure that Meg, gets taken care of out here, especially over this holiday season. Because baby need new shoes. Baby need new shoes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And where can they go to get that shirt?
More diverse voices in sports.com.
There you go. Really, it's a holiday. It's like I'm not going to stretch this out a great deal longer. I said I'm ready to get some eggnog in my system, and I've managed to go about an hour long without talking about Nancy Reagan. So hey, I'm clearly in a good mood. But I do that get you, man. But yeah, let's hop up in this 2 up and 2 down, man. Of course, those of y'all who aren't familiar with this, of course, we give shout outs to things that we are that we shout out that's going on in the culture, things that we don't like that's going on in the culture. And yeah, man, Yogi D Bar. What you got, man?
All right. So my 2 up, 2 down. This is almost like VA. I like how you did that, Greg. I started top of my head.
Thank you.
All right. So my first up is this is the last week of school. About to hit Christmas break.
Boy, you after what happened yesterday.
I'm telling you. I was we watch a Christmas movie and we vibing. Don't ask me for no extra credit, nothing. It ain't happening. Your grade is with Jesus and Santa Claus. It is what it is, my dog. My second up is shout out to my boy Nate, who does the PR for the Richmond Kickers. He's done an amazing job.
Yes.
He's really took it from where it was super dormant to now it's like, he's doing his whole thing, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for 2022 because it's the 30th anniversary of the Richmond Kickers. So I'm really excited with that. My 2 downs. I'm really disappointed in Twitter because of the fact that I had to wake up to the news of learning that Nancy Reagan was the Gok Queen.
Yo, we got to talk about that real quick. Oh my God. Yo. The absolute sheer number of memes out here for that. Oh my God. There's a picture of Nancy Reagan dancing with Frank Sinatra at the White House, and Ronald Reagan's trying to like yo, like you got to go, like what's up, and and it just hits differently now. And like there's this clip of the Fresh Prince where Carlton's like fantasizing about Nancy Reagan. I'm like, mind you, at that point it's like in her 70s. I'm like, dude, like what are you doing? And yeah, like everything just hits differently now. It's so insane now.
Academic hits different. Now,
oh, and then the kiss with Mr. T. The kiss on the frontal lobe. The kiss on the frontal lobe. Like it's like, yo, it's about to get popped.
Yeah. Like don't do drugs, kids. It's oh man. It's whoo.
Oh God.
And then my second down is Joshua. No, I ain't gonna say it. It's not Joshua Kimmich.
It could be though.
It could be. Yeah, here's my second down. Really, because now he's like, oh, I feel bad. I have COVID. And, like he has yet to apologize for lying to people about getting COVID when he said he was vaccinated. Because that's, very smart.
Also, he put an A-Rod.
Yeah. Anyway.
Got to be more careful.
In the words of Paul Mooney, Some people just got the complexion for the protection against the collection.
Oh man. So you got it?
Yeah, that's all I got. Oh, also, I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but the parents up in Michigan that about the whole school shooting are getting sued as well in charge. So.
Oh, the kid who did the shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, got you.
Yeah, but that's all I got.
Cool. Let's see if Miss Meg can take the stab with this. What we got?
Oh, my 2-up.
Your assignment, Meg. Your assignment is what we talked about. All right.
Yeah. So my 2-up. One of them is both my up and down.
Okay.
MLS Cup. We talked about it. Great experience. Absolutely. Like high. Also a low. So like we're gonna go up and down. Other
That's
up.
Cool.
Being here in Tampa, USL Summit. Super fun. Getting to go outside my comfort zone. I posted about it. I do get anxiety. I have a fear of public speaking, but to speak publicly twice is awesome. So that's up. My other down, this is really random, but I saw this on Twitter today and it was so disappointing. And also, again, not that it's their fault, but just another reason why I just gave up on American football is I don't know if y'all saw the Netflix documentary or the Netflix film that's coming out about the New Orleans Saints and Coach Payton and how like in the trailer, the one girl didn't know who Roger Goodell is. And I'm like, who the fuck wrote this? Also, who's asking for this movie? Like, I'm a born and raised Saints fan who wrote them off a year and a half ago, and I don't even want this movie. But in the one trailer, you're gonna make the one woman ignorant? Like, come on. It's 2021.
Hold up, is this the one with Kevin James and Sean Payton?
Yes.
Oh wow! First of all, we that's a whole conversation in itself. It's like how did they come that casting? Like what happened here?
I'm just disappointed in the whole thing, and I'm like, again, 10-foot pole, want nothing to do with the sport or that team. So,
oh man,
bro, what
Yeah, that happened. That's happening.
Sorry, Kevin J. He looks nothing like Sean Payton.
I didn't realize Sean Payton was just thick like that. I had no idea. Like, yeah, like between that and the Kurt Warner movie, I'm like, I'm not sure what's happening right now with the league, but
bro,
yeah,
I'm boycotting that Kurt Warner movie. No. Oh man. Okay. And then my wife had the damn audacity to buy tickets for it. I ain't watching that.
While he's wearing a Titans hoodie right now, so yeah, you know what time it is up in that house. Okay, my ups. The actually, hold on. First up is Samuel Eto'o, famous player for Barcelona, Inter Milan, won back-to-back trebles in 2009 and 2010. He just recently got elected the president of the Cameroonian Football Association. So shout out to him. Of course, he's a absolute god in the game, and him, paying it forward with going back home and trying to get Cameroon to a higher level. That's pretty dope to see. And then just a personal up, and I don't know if you saw this, Yogi. My high school, around the high school, champs, baby. Yeah, man.
Y'all finally did something that Holly Springs couldn't do, is win a state title.
Gotta give a shout out to the head coach Marcus Lewis. Of course, we actually graduated together back in 2001. He took over at the high school last year as head coach. He's been heavily involved with the program. Of course, Mike Robinson with NFL Network. He's also an 01 graduate with Verona. He's been heavily involved there behind the scenes. Just, I pretty much know everybody that's on that staff. And, for them to finally get over the hump, because like when we were in high school, we were like king shit in Richmond. Well, we always choked in the state championships. Last time we were there, like in '99, and we lost like by 1 point at City Stadium. And but we hadn't been back since, and just for us to finally get back and actually win, that's just incredible. I'm glad that see a young black head coach, doing his thing there, and like I said, it's a homie. So, shout out to Marcus, shout out to Coach Mike, Coach Carlos, just everybody. Like that's just.
See what happens when you beat Holland Springs? Y'all get over that.
Yeah, I heard about that game. Like 7-6. I was like, damn, like y'all didn't do shit.
It was defensive vibes, y'all. Defensive vibes.
But my downs, of course, like I said, ESPN Plus app, like I have been saying so many good things about that, and just it literally took 43 minutes for them to get their shit together. Like just everything, just like the whole life, your whole life is just passing by. Like just the screen's still saying the event starts at 3:00. I'm like, can we get this up?
That never works.
Dude. But and last but not least, my second down, got to give a shout out to our Mexican American homies. Vicente Fernandez passed away over the weekend. For those of y'all that don't know, he's like, they treat this guy like an idol in Mexico. He is like that dude, like king of ranchero music. Like if y'all don't know about this guy, like he has been a big deal for a long time. I think he just passed away at like 81 years old. But yeah, like traditional Mexican music, like he's had that on lock for like a good 50, 60 years. So like I'm not totally up on it, but like the ones that I know, like it's a nice little vibe. It's a nice little ride. So yeah, I guess definitely want to give a shout out to him, for his life and everything that he gave to the culture and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I got. Like I said, we're actually moving pretty well this week. Like like I said, it's eggnog time. About to put some cognac in this eggnog and get this thing cracking for the night. And but yes, Meg, again, thank you so much for coming on this week. Where can the people find you on the socials?
I am on social at Meg Reyes _. Thank you for having me. This was fun. Like you said, long time coming. Overdue.
Yes. And I still need my shirt, by the way. I still need my shirt. But
bro, get in line.
No, I owe him a shirt.
But yeah, of course,
send me an email.
Our house is your house. Feel free to come on anytime where we can chop it up and everything. And just so you know, because we haven't really talked about it, the Suns are taking the West this year. I just want you to make sure you know that, because on whatever the Dubs doing, of course, shout out to Steph Curry for breaking the 3-point scoring record tonight. But yeah, it's all about the Suns this year. Suns up.
Okay. Well, Clay should be coming back any moment, so let's talk about that.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait.
We'll see about that. I'll cry.
I'm mildly curious. I am mildly fearful because I'm just like, if he comes back at least like 70% of what he was, it's gonna be. It might be a little bit of trouble. And it's
averaging 50 the first month.
He's coming back 110.
That man
is Wiseman back yet?
You asking the wrong question, son. It don't matter. We talking about Clay Daddy. If Clay come with that fro, he averaging 50. He taking 10 drops.
Not the fro. Not the fro. Oh my God.
It don't matter.
So we'll revisit this Suns Warriors thing in a couple weeks. And
For those who don't know, I'm a huge Klay Thompson fan. Like, he's my favorite player in the NBA. And I have not watched the NBA until Clay come back, and I'm waiting for that first game.
Same.
I said we traded them Dubs a couple weeks ago, but like I said, Suns up. I said let's just be forewarned going into May and June. Like I said, we'll have you back on. Like I said, we will settle this parlay soon enough. But of course, as always, you can catch on social FTC. Control your gas, man. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, FTCUTD Pod on TikTok. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you follow Two Cents. Make sure you check out Can I Kick It FC. Make sure you check out Amplified. Make sure you check out Loose Change. Make sure you check out Shea Butter FC. And I know they're covering the NWSL draft this week, so make sure you check them out because it's still a lot going on there. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out last week's Two Cents with Jory and Bakum. Like, that's been an absolute firestorm with in the WSL race. Just because of course the abuse was everywhere last year, and she definitely gives her story, and it's crazy. Like, we actually knew about it a little bit, but of course we wanted to make sure that she was able to tell it in her words. So definitely make sure if you haven't done so, check it out. But yeah, get your presents up, get your eggnog up for Greggo, for Yogi, for Coach, for Mayor, for L, for Taff, for Scott, for Sills, for Moby, like the whole team, and also for Meg, and also for you. The coach is real. The coach is everywhere. We will see y'all next week.
Get vaccinated. Ain't no one playing with y'all.
What do you say?
Get boosted.
Boost that, back that, tap that. We will see y'all soon. And we out.
FTC UTD.